Well, it's been a little while since some country kicked Monsanto and their GMO crops, or in this case, cotton, out. Monsanto GMO banned by Africa's largest cotton producer. Good job, my African friends. Burkina Faso, Africa's top cotton producer and the only West African nation that has ventured into biotech farming, has decided to ban genetically modified cotton produced by Monsanto on quality grounds. Earlier this month, Burkina Faso, the world's 10th largest cotton producer, announced it was giving up Monsanto's genetically modified BT cotton, as it had proved uneconomical. I'm going to make a bold prediction that India is going to be filing suit in the near future due to a documentary I saw a little while back on the ill effects of their cotton and other industry and the chemicals needed to spray their fields and everything that's now causing the people to get sick because it's getting in their drinking water and whatnot. Absolute nightmare. Burkina Faso embraced genetically modified cotton in the 2000s in the hope of bumping up returns on what became its top export in 2009 after surpassing gold. With 4 of its 19 people dependent on the so-called white gold, the importance of cotton to the West African nation cannot be understated. But the nation's Association of Cotton Producers now says GM cotton, though producing higher yields, has resulted in a significant drop in the quality of crops. Between 2011 and 2016, producers say the industry incurred losses of $82.4 million and are demanding compensation. Quote, "The cotton fiber we are producing today is short." Burkina Faso's Interprofessional Cotton Association, which consists of the country's main producers and the National Cotton Farmers Union, is now targeting 100% conventional production. Wilfried Yemiego, director of Sofitex, Burkina Faso's main cotton company, said earlier this month. "It's a battle won," added Christian Liggey of the National Council of Organic Food Processors, an umbrella organization of consumer groups and farm workers that wants a 5 to 10 year moratorium on transgenic cotton or transgenic cotton in the country. And then it has a little news article, like a little clip you can watch, which is actually related to Costa Rica. Watch Costa Rica. Right-wing politicians opposed to moratorium on GMO crops. So you can see the GMO thing is really coming out and moving around. I hope that one day, preferably in the near future, I can come out and say the giant Monsanto has been crushed. Oh my God, they're filing for bankruptcy protection. Yes, it'll be one of the best videos I ever do. It'll make me feel good anyways, like it's the best one I've ever done, knowing that rotten, poisonous system is going away. The emergence of GM, or genetically modified, once fueled hopes of greater production and also reduced the need for fertilizer. This was a key issue in a region prone to drought where pests had grown resistant to traditional pesticides. GM crops were supposed to be a win-win situation or solution, reducing the number of pesticides required, as well as boosting yields by as much as 90%, including hectare profits. In 2003, Burkina Faso authorized experimental planting by USC giant Monsanto and Swiss multinational Syngenta. Then in 2007, the country launched large-scale production of transgenic cotton. But the deterioration in quality has now weighed in favor of a return to conventional cotton. Researchers, political, and community leaders were critical of the move to launch GM crops from the outset. Quote, "The principle of precaution was not respected," says Jean-Didier Zongo, a genetician from the University of Ouagadougou. who accuses Monsanto of criminal acts. He alleges the firm provided insufficiently tested seed varieties. And shockingly, Monsanto officials have denied the allegations, arguing that a host of factors can lead to a drop in quality, and says it is continuing to negotiate with its partners in Burkina Faso. Negotiate, huh? Like, we know it's causing a problem now. We'll give it to you cheaper. Nah. I think we need to go back to all natural. Why are we messing with these Franken seeds? There hasn't been some great length of time that we've tested some, and any study that's ever been done has been done by Monsanto and friends. They get their little third-party buddy to say, yep, here's the test we've concluded. These things are fantastic. But then other people decide, well, I think I'm going to do my own testing. And I'm going to feed it to some laboratory rats. The food, not the cotton, obviously. I'm going to pause this video for 1 second, and I'm going to show you the results of some rats after they ate some genetically modified foods and then generate a couple of generations down. Just stand by 1 second. All right, so I found what I was looking for. Here is an article which shows, I'm going to show you the screenshot of these rats too, from CBS News, of all places, reporting on this story about these rats that ate those foods, GMO stuff. And this is from 2014. Study on genetically modified corn, herbicide, and tumors reignites controversy. A controversial study about genetically modified corn that was retracted last year after scientists raised doubts about its findings has just been republished in another journal, reigniting the debate over food safety and scientific responsibility. The study, first published in the September 2012 issue of Food and Chemical Toxicology and then retracted in 2013, claimed to link genetically modified corn and Monsanto's Roundup herbicide with tumor growth and death risk in rats. The study made headlines around the world with its shocking photos of rats who purportedly were more likely to develop large tumors and die early after eating Monsanto's genetically modified maize, whether or not it was treated with Roundup weed killer. But in November 2013, the journal's publisher, Elsevier, announced that after a thorough and time-consuming analysis, the study was being retracted again, I guess, due to concerns about the research methodology. Elsevier emphasized that there was no evidence of fraud or intentional misrepresentation. It said the study's findings were simply inconclusive. However, the researchers, led by biologist Dr. Gilles Eric Seralini, from France, protested and even threatened to sue, suggesting that, quote, economic interests were behind the decision and hinting at impropriety since a former, get ready for this, get ready to be shocked, Monsanto employee had recently joined the journal's staff. So if you have a particular entity that likes to post things about just like these kinds of subjects, how do you get them to stop exposing you? You have one of your guys go join the workforce. That's called the revolving door. Like the FDA, oh, you're approved, you're approved, you're approved, you're approved, drugs, approved. Now that I got that taken care of, ladies and gentlemen, it's nice working with you here. I'm out. I'm going to go work for one of these drug companies that I just let them come through and sell their killer pharmaceuticals to the American people, because now I got a huge salary working for them. So what you're telling us is you really don't care what these drugs do to anybody. You accept these third-party trials of these drugs that Monsanto and in this case FDA drug companies hire to, of course, find out that their drugs are good, because if I'm hiring you as a third party and I'm paying you handsomely as a third-party tester to trial these drugs out, if you find my drugs as causing problems, you're out of a job. No more nice fat pay for you and your employees at your company. You guys are gone. And by the way, The rest of my buddies in line, these other drug companies, they're not going to use you either. But if you do show that our drug works really well and does what we say it does, I got a whole lot of other people that will use you too. Talk about getting paid. What's that old saying OJ Snip tells you? It is hard for a man to tell the truth when his job depends upon him not telling the truth. So I do want to show you what these little rats look like. So let's take a peek at that real quick before I shut out this video. So they had to go to a different journal to republish the article, reigniting the controversy, only to find out that the Monsanto employee goes and works for that journalist, or journal, whatever the journal was. I'm not sure the name of it now. What do you think's going to happen? Oh, Monsanto's the same guy we're exposing and now works here. We're going to go ahead and pull the story. Inconclusive. Unbelievable. Take care.